and it's the Tayport Breakers. They've done it again.
Is this the biggest panel we've ever had on, Jason?
One day you'll have a guy throwing mid-70s, and next week you have a guy throwing 55-mile fastballs.
We need to update that intro, don't we, man? Like, it's been a while.
I'm just looking at it, aye. Needs to change a little bit.
we don't look like John and Jason, man. Like, so
No.
I think I'm going to call out to anybody watching this, man, that if you're wanting to do a video for us, we have no money, no budget, but it'd be very much appreciated.
We'll give you a mention on the podcast if that helps.
Aye, we'll get you on as a guest. We'll give you a spotlight for 20 minutes. That'll do it, man.
We'll give you 2 free tickets to a game as well if you want.
To the stadium of Tayport or Glasgow. That's box office seats, man.
Exactly.
How you doing? My name's Danny. I'm a Glasgow Comet outfielder. I'm your host for today, joined by yourself. Introduce yourself.
Tayport Breakers, second baseman.
How's your week been, Bash?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Yourself?
Good, man. Like I was saying to you beforehand, like my mother-in-law, she gave me a 10-pack of Lidl Shandy with 2 removed, nonetheless, that go out of date this week, man. So I'm on the Shandies. They are 0.5%, and they just taste like lemonade and lime. So
I'm not gonna lie, I love them. They're great. I think they're great. They're so refreshing.
Yeah.
Lidl, if you want to come and sponsor us, Lidl, like we're here. Come and see us.
Yeah, man. All about it. I don't think we've actually caught up since Slough.
You're right.
Wow. So how did you find it, man? That was your second time down there?
Second time, yeah, I loved it. It was great. It was rough. We didn't play badly. Just tough teams, really, really, really tough opponents, really good players, really good pitching, really good fielding. And the hits we gave up were just wee bloopers in the gaps. So weren't any big hits, just wee bloopers that just found gaps and got guys on, and that was it. They were so aggressive base run as well. I don't know if you found it as well. They're much more aggressive. I thought we were quite aggressive up here, but they are on everything. Yep.
Yeah. So for those that don't know the layout, your first game was on the Big Diamond, and the Big Diamond has a massively, even bigger than Glasgow, I would say, area between home plate and the backstop. And I think the game was won and lost for you on just past balls. And it's something you get away with in this league because money is massive backstops. And to be honest, you want to be throwing balls in. You get a 2-strike count and somebody, you want to be throwing it in the dirt. You know, you're not going to throw it down the dick in a 2-strike count. But we were the same. We went up against GB women's team in the first game, and the amount that we generated a lot of runs for pass balls, but we gave up a lot as well. But to be down there in the weekend, the weather was amazing, particularly the start.
It was great. I think we watched your last game on the Saturday night and got in the car at like 6:30 or something. It was still at 24 degrees.
Aye.
Unreal. It was great. It's brilliant.
It was, you know, I don't really know what I was expecting. I was kind of expecting the diamonds to be like that, and that's all I was really looking for. But when I went down and you immediately walk in, and to your left there's like a batting cage, and then there's the thing that threw me was the bullpen mounds. Like, as weird as it sounds,
4 or 5 bullpen spots. Aye.
I was like, that's fucking cool, man. Just to have like purpose-built training mounds where you can warm up. And that for me got me pure like, this is really cool. And then there was, I don't know how many diamonds there were. There must have been, was there 4 or 5?
5, yeah. 5. But yeah,
and,
they're amazing, aren't they?
Yeah. And just to see that many people invested in baseball, so much baseball going on. Actually, when I went down to watch your first game, and just the bleachers behind the thing, I wasn't expecting that either. It's these weird things you don't take account for.
Talking about that aren't in uniforms, obviously just there to watch the baseball. There's loads of people just there to watch the game. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a great atmosphere. Like, obviously, you've got the bar and the cafe food kind of area as well, all that stuff. You've got the foosball table, pool table, all that. It's brilliant.
Yeah. So really, really good efforts. We ended up in the you said quite tight games a lot of the time, man.
There weren't blowouts like that. Very good teams you're playing against. That's it. You're playing against very, very good teams. Yeah.
We won one game, man, and ended up getting in a chance to compete for a medal, just the way that the things worked. And we went up against the GB under 15s, and I was supposed to go home, right? I was supposed to go up the road that afternoon. But then I was going around seeing what I could do. And Ewan, who used to host this podcast, he was like, I've got a spare bed in my hotel room. Jason West was like, I can get you a lift up the roads. And I thought, brilliant. But I pitched like 3 innings the day before, and I only ever pitch 1 inning a week. You know, that's my max, is I'll pitch 1 inning in the air. So my arm was shot to shit. But I was like, I can do it. I mean, they're 14 years old. Like, we bastards, man. Like, they are so good. Like, honestly.
Me and also our guest on Aven, PG, it's Paul Gardner. We're all standing behind, and Jason West, we're all standing behind home plate watching that game.
Yeah.
And we're all just blown away. The size of some of them as well.
Yeah.
There was a guy, I think he must have gone a second. I'm looking over, I'm like, is he really big, or is he just like, what's going on? He was massive. Or was it just wee guys next to him? And he walked past and went, fuck, this guy's huge. On the 15th,
Yeah.
they won. They won their other day. They beat I don't think who it was. They won a tournament the other day anyway.
Ukraine. I think they bet Ukraine to win the tournament. And I like to think that I built up a bit of resilience in them, because I tanned about 4 of them with a baseball. We tried to pitch to them with my arm shot to shit. So, it was good, man. Like, it was funny. It got to that point, you know, they were beating us bad, man, because I ended up pitching the first inning and just couldn't find the strike zone, you know, like, just couldn't do it. I ended up hitting one of the guys, and the umpire came up to me and he said, don't hit the kids. And I was like, well, of course I'm going to fucking hit the kids now, because you've told me I can't hit the kids. What the fuck do you think I'm going to do? You come up to me and say you can't hit this guy.
I'm not trying to hit them, mate. I want to get strikeouts. I'm not here to hit them.
I don't like to come down here and just throw baseballs at Wayne's, contrary to what you fucking think.
You do that at home if you want to.
With a belt and a baseball. But fucking, man, no, it was just such a good experience.
Kids violence, obviously, on this podcast.
Obviously not, man. Obviously not. Just a wee joke. But it was just such a good experience. And I think just having the social aspect there, actually getting to spend time with people you don't spend time with. You know, we usually play you guys, then we're off and out, and that's it, man. We don't talk a lot beyond that. So.
Yeah, it's a great chat. I said to you before going, it's not just the baseball, it's getting a chat to the guys before it. But we'll all speak on a Sunday, but it's a quick 5-minute chat. How you getting on? Play the game, right? Safe trip home. Good to see you. See you again in a few weeks or whatever. And that's it. So I think it's great to, Friday night, Saturday night, have a couple of beers. And even between games, you're all just hanging about and chatting the whole time. It's brilliant. Yeah,
absolutely. Let's talk a wee bit about MLB before we jump into a recap of the season. Trade deadline. Well, so trade deadline's coming up, and there's big rumours about whether Toronto are dumping Vladdy. And actually, Vladdy's went back, and he always said I would never play for the Yankees.
Yeah, he did.
He went back a wee bit in that, didn't
he? He said, well, it's business, or maybe he would sign for them.
Yeah. What do you think? You think they're going to dump Bo Bichette, Vladdy, anyone else?
I think they might dump one of them. I don't know, though. To be fair, though, like, this team needs more than just one player. Like, we need a complete rebuild, because it's just not working. It's never worked. We're meant to have Vladdy, Bo, and Calvin Bijou as well. They're meant to be our three, like, the guys to the future. Bijou's gone. Bichette's not been great this year. Vladdy's been terrible this year, and last year as well, to be honest. Our pitching's gone. We're just murder. Absolutely horrific to watch.
I think Vladdy's still got 1.5 years in his contract. Is that right? So they'll be asked. They're not going to. They're not going to move him for anything less than a top 10 prospect. I don't like there. If he does end up at the Yankees, the guys that we'd be expecting to gear up would be guys like Jason Dominguez, like Spencer Jones, these big outfield bats that are promised to be your next Aaron Judge, your next Mickey Mantle, things like that, generational talents. Like, and I just don't see them parting with it for 1.5 years of Vladdy, given what he's done this year, man. So I think he gets moved next year, the trade deadline, or even in the off season this year, rather than right now. Who I do think's away is I think Crochet's away for the White Sox, and I think he ends up in Baltimore. I think they're the only one with the prospect capital, or even what's his name, Scooble for the pitcher for Detroit. I think
I heard he's going to Baltimore.
somebody's going to end up in Baltimore, a pitcher, and it's going to be because their prospect capital is massive, man. Their farm system is unreal. Like they're just
it's proven. Look at the talent they brought through as well.
Yeah,
the whole team's filled with talent that they've nurtured and brought through.
And they all look the same. They all look like Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, like they all carbon copies, man. Like, aye. It'll be interesting to see, man. Aye, definitely. Trade deadline, I think, is a week a day. So the next week, you're going to see a lot of pictures start to fly off the shelf.
You know what is mental to me? That Bauer's not been picked up yet.
It's blacklisted, isn't it, man? It's
crazy.
Yeah.
The numbers he's putting up in Mexico as well, he's frightening.
Yeah.
I know it's in Mexico, but it's still talent.
What is it, 33, 30, 32, 33?
He's not old. Yeah, it's mad that somebody doesn't pick him up and just give him a chance and see.
I don't know what will happen, man. Like, I think you might have somebody slip through, but I think they're going to be the big bad team of the league if they do. You know, I've kind of expected the Yankees to do it, to be honest. The Yankees or the Dodgers, I think. Who knows, man? Who knows? Right, let's check the results over the past few weeks. So let's look at the AAA first. You guys in the makeup week after Slough, you didn't have anything go ahead, didn't you? You were supposed to in Aberdeen.
Yeah, it's cancelled.
So we had the Cannons and the Devils. They were the only game that went ahead that weekend, 4-0 to the Cannons. Quite a tight game by that one. What you like to see. The next week on the 14th of the 7th, we had a more typically Cannons score of 19-1 when they were against the Devils. Yep. You guys against the Oilers, 10-0. Glasgow Comets against the Galaxy. We bet the Galaxy at 5-4. And this past weekend, we had the Comets losing out to the Cannons 8-7.
Walk-off as well from Rory, I think. I heard it was a walk-off.
Oh, it was. Aye, we went into the bottom of the 7 tied. We just a couple of errors. Could have got out the inning, just didn't. David pitched the full game. I don't know how, man, but he done a fantastic job. And walk off by Rory. So, but we'll never mention that in this pod again. He'll go a lot about it next time he's on here. And then you guys losing out to the Devils 8-7. You were without a tight game again, but without a few key players, I think.
Yeah, our outfield was decimated, holidays and things like that. To be fair, so was our development team as well. There was a lot of PG pitch started actually. Paul Gardner pitched on Sunday for development. But yeah,
how did he do, man?
What's that?
How did he do? Like, I know he's lost, but did he feel comfortable?
I think that's probably the safest thing to do.
Fair enough.
It's hard. You know what it's like. It's the loneliest place in the world out there sometimes.
It is.
He did throw a lot of pitches, but did it with a big smile on his face, and that's all you can ask for. He stepped up. That's the main thing, right? That's
it, man. That's it. So the way the league's looking now is Edinburgh Cannons up top with 10 wins and 1 loss. Glasgow Galaxy, 7 wins and 3 losses, followed by you guys, 7 wins and 5. Glasgow Comets, Edinburgh Devils, Granite City Oilers. But there's only really 2 games between the Comets and the Devils who are in playoff contention. We go out to face you guys this week.
Yes, we'll see it in the Tayport,
Yeah, so that'll be a tight game because I think that could potentially be a decider. It was a battle for third place at this point. I know you guys will still be looking at second, but as it stands now, man, it looks like it's going to be that battle for that third place spot, man. So,
tight one.
Yeah, man. It's always good games.
It is good games, yeah. The battle of the podcast.
The battle of the podcast. So over in the A-League, we had the Knights. I believe they walked off the Angels on the 7th of July. They won 10-9. We had a draw, 13-13 between Knights and Angels on the 14th. Comets beating the Galaxy 5-4 on the 14th. And then this past weekend, Comets beating Knights 19-7. Angels beating Breakers 18-10. And again, you kind of picked up that decimated in both ones, but
and stuff like that,
got to give it to the Angels, but man, like they'll be happy with that.
The game, yep, you still got to win the game. Doesn't matter who you're playing, you still got to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Before we get Aven on, I'm going to do a new section. I know I ran this by you, Bash. So this is called Up Here in Scotland. How means why, but we don't know how. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it for the day. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to take an interview of Major League, and I wanted to translate it into Scottish baseball, because there's quite a lot of people in a league that play baseball but don't watch a Major League. So this will be a really good entry point. So this is Carlos Rodon pitching against Baltimore. He gets interviewed after it, and it's been, acutely scanned over and translated into Scottish for you. So hopefully people of the show like it.
Carlos, the Yankees played a run there in the top of the inning, and then you start off slow, trying to find your rhythm there, giving up 4 in the first. How do you evaluate what happened there in that first inning?
Fucking shit show, to be quite honest with you, Hen. It was, I get to the field, they wheel out this wooden fucking contraption, this fucking death trap. I says to Wolfie, fuck's that? He says, that's a mound. I says, I'm a fuck pitching for that. He says, you need to impulse that there and back them up. So I'm slipping arsehole over elbow in this thing, man. Fucking hang a slider to Randy, and he goes, boosh, whacks it out onto the street, fucking kills away.
You mentioned the slider to Arozarena. That just too much of the plate? Are you okay with the pitch selection there and just execution?
Look, I don't want to make a big deal about it, right? But we were sat there for 6.5 minutes, no playing, because Aaron Judge found a big piece of, a big piece of dog shite, to be quite honest with you, Hen, and it felt like the smell was sticking to the hairs of my nose. It was fucking bouffing, man. And I just sat there distracted, like, dog shite. Shouldn't it be that colour?
You're visibly frustrated in the dugout with the bat, with the iPad. Can you describe what this stretch has been like for you to try to work through?
Well, first off, dugout is a very generous word you can use to describe a wooden bench. And in terms of being frustrated with the iPad, does nobody know how to use iScore? I mean, as soon as I come off the field, I'm handed it because nobody else. And I know that to be a lie, because Gleyber Torres is in there and his ma pays for the subscription. But as soon as you say anything to him, it's, no hablo inglés. I fucking know he knows how to use it. I fucking hate iScore, man. I really do. Man, I was Craig had it in his phone at the weekend, and I was trying to coach third base and the iScore at the same time, and I just felt my anger rising inside my fucking throat as I was trying to navigate this app. We'll try to direct people, we'll try to keep, somebody else the iScore, man. This is why I love people like you and that just like scoring, man.
Yeah. Mate, it's the same every week with us as well. Someone's raging my score. I can't get this player moved over. What happened there? What's going on? No one knows a clue. How many balls and strikes is that? I've no idea. Is that out? Yeah, no one knows a clue. Just
going over to the other manager. Like, I've got some changes to make, and it's going to take 15 minutes to fucking navigate. Oh man, it just. But you know what? It's a good thing to have to capture these stats and that, man. Like,
that's great.
And I'm sure that'll be a good segue, actually. I'm sure our next guest will be happy about capturing these stats, because he recently he broke a record for home run crown in Scotland.
Yes. He is the big, he's a monster of a fella. Yes. We'll bring him on.
He looks like he blows up car tyres with his mouth, man. That's what his lungs are built like, man. So happy to bring him in, Bash. I'm going to let you lead this interview. How you doing, Aven? You all right, man?
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now.
There it is. How are you, sir?
No, I'm good. Thank you very much. Yourself?
Good. Thanks so much for coming on, Evan. We really appreciate it. I know you're a busy man in the gym, so we're glad you can give a bit of time for us.
Oh, mate,
How did you like our Carlos Rondon translation? Did you pick up much? You've been in Scotland for a while. That'll have made sense to you.
I had you dialed. It's all good. To be fair, when I first came up to Scotland, I was in Glasgow. And for my first job, which was in the jails, I couldn't understand shit. And the dude had like a heavy Glaswegian accent, and I was getting like every second to third word. I'm like, oh.
I feel bad for people.
Danny, just let me know, even, right?
Yeah, man. I feel bad for people that spend years learning English and then come to live in Scotland. I'd be like, that was a fucking waste of time, man. Like, I learned it, now I need to relearn it in a different
This is
broad
not
accent.
What is this language you're talking about here? It's not English, surely.
To be fair, if you did the same, if you went to Australia, it'd be the same thing.
Yeah.
We got our own kind of lingo as well. You just end up kind of like slanging everything. You're like, what the fuck you just say?
Yeah, man.
Right, Aven, so when did you come up to Scotland?
4 years ago, actually. Sorry, I came to UK 4 years ago, like this week. I came to Scotland. Was that?
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. And then came to Scotland 3 months after that. So what?
Right.
August, September, October.
And you're in Perth.
Yeah, Perth the whole time.
How did you find out about the Breakers or baseball in Scotland in general?
Well, your mate, well, no, actually, no, your mate, like, what, you went to school with him, didn't you?
Is Andy?
Andy, yeah.
Yeah, aye. Yeah, I played basketball with Andy, yeah.
Yeah, so I work with Andy, and I only just found out literally not even yet this time last year, so not even 12 months ago yet, but coming up on 12 months ago that there was baseball in Tayport, and I was like, holy fuck, really? I hadn't played in like a long time. And because Andy was playing basketball, and I was kind of like, oh, should I get back into a team sport? Yeah. He's like, they got baseball at Tayport. I'm like, what do you fucking mean they got baseball? He's like, yeah. I'm like, right on. So, yes.
Yeah, and then you turned up to pre-season training. I'm like, who is this guy? Look at the size of this fella. And I remember me and you we were hitting together in the group.
Yeah.
And it was off the tee, and it is just like a cannon going off. I'm like, I look at Scotty back. I'm like, Scotty, this guy's legit. You should see him hit.
I felt awkward as fuck coming back. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't look it, bud.
I felt all right in that way, but just more like coming to a random team in Scotland. Haven't done anything in like 8 years. And I was like, this is different. This is cool. But it felt good. It did feel good. Yeah. And everyone was really, really nice. So that was nice.
Yeah, what was your sort of first impression of like the diamond and that? You've been around a few now. Like Tayport's got a brilliant diamond. What was your first impression of it, man?
Different.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming from Australia, right? Australia actually has a really good baseball culture.
Yeah.
Really good baseball culture. I think I've showed Bash the diamond I used to play on my home field, right, which is now also the Bandits' home field. So I play on a semi-professional, professional field, and we played on that. And like even the team that I used to play for when I was a kid, we had full, basically not quite as manicured as Slough, but essentially that. And that's just local league.
Yeah.
So when I came here and Jason was just like, oh yeah, this is where the field is. I'm like, okay, I'll come. I went for a drive one day just check it out. I'm like, oh, this is like some,
it's a sandlot.
Sandlot stuff. I'm not gonna lie, the backdrop of Tayport was fantastic. All right,
that's what wins it for us.
Yeah, but it's different with the fields. I'm not gonna lie, it is different with the fields. But I mean, in the end, you can play baseball wherever you want, so it doesn't take away from the game realistically.
Exactly.
Have you hit a home run off any of the caravans yet, man? The caravans that sit over in left centre.
Not yet, but I have put one into that secondary field behind on the other side of the road.
Yeah.
That's a monster distance too.
Yeah,
the practice. You nearly hit a caravan at practice one night.
Jeez.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Yeah, it went over the burn. Yep.
Oh shit, really?
It was in Glasgow. the car was in Glasgow. It was in M8, man. The ball carried.
So when did you start playing, Evan? How old were you start playing?
I started playing baseball when I was like 9, I want to say. I was 9 or 10. I think it was 9.
What was it like at that level? Like decent or?
So it was just like it wasn't. So I didn't start at T-ball. I started after T-ball, which would have been. So basically, what this is your dad would kind of throw you the pitch.
Yeah.
And he would be a parent would be the pitcher, and that's all it was. So I started that, and I was hooked. I used to play football actually before that, as in soccer, football. Before that was my first sport, and the parents were like, "Oh, you want to play a summer sport?" And I was like, "Yeah, like cricket or baseball." I was like, "Baseball," because I don't know why. And there we go. That was how I got into baseball, just by chance, purely. And then I found out I was good. So
Yeah, you're not bad, mate. Yeah, you're all right.
You're all right. Yeah, I can see potential, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not bad. A few things you swing to work on. We'll get you there, though. You'll be all right.
I'm still working on shit. Don't worry.
Yeah. No, yeah. That's the thing. Like, you're always just thinking of different things and seeing different things and pointing out to other people as well.
Do you? I take it you spend quite a lot of time trying to help the guys in Tayport. You have very different skill levels there for guys that are picking it up in their adult years. Do you get guys that are quite experienced? You've got a lot of experience, obviously, Evan. Are you trying to use that to help the guys develop a wee bit, try to get insight for your experience?
Definitely trying to, as much as I possibly can. I mean, it is tough when we have one training session and then we play. So from just a pure time perspective, it's tough to kind of help as much as I would like, actually, which I actually am really enjoying. I never thought I would ever actually want to or ever enjoy coaching baseball, because I used to remember thinking back in the day going, fuck, coaching baseball would be shite. And I don't know why, but I just didn't like the idea of it. But I've been enjoying trying to help out where I can and trying to work at a few little things here and there, a few little ideas, and tweaking a few people's swings, and even working on a few more, I guess, throwing techniques recently with a few people as well, not just swinging. So
yeah.
It's been really good.
Yeah, the guys appreciate it. I know that for sure. The guys definitely appreciate it. You're always just seeing little bits and pieces, and even like the depth outfield the other day, me and you were standing for a bit chatting, and just the little things at the depth outfield and where they should be at. Just little things like that can help the players.
Oh yeah, I mean I've been on a mission for that one recently, trying to sort out the outfielders and where they should be actually
where it should
playing.
Be. Danny, you can get some lessons as well if you want.
Man, I'm all for it, man. Like I feel like in a very different level, but like I'm obviously going between the pitching with an A League and then AAA playing the outfield, and I feel like it boggles my mind even more now when you look at guys like Otani who focus on pitching and hitting and doing all these different things. Like I don't have the intent, especially when you only play one day a week, but I don't have the attention span to work on like pitching, hitting, and outfielding. So I feel if I'm paying attention to one area, you're losing the other two. So it's a difficult one, like you say, Dave. And when you're training once a week, there's only so much you can get in, isn't there?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, ideally, I think, especially even our AAA, I think we should be almost training twice a week at least.
Yeah.
I know, like I said, back in Australia, I'm trying not to compare because it's obviously it's apples and oranges realistically, but I know we were training twice a week, playing twice a week. That's the adult league in Australia. So we play every Friday, every Sunday. So 2-game series basically every week.
Yeah.
Good. But you get a lot of time. I mean, so 4 days a week you're playing baseball. So you get a lot of chance to actually work on things, work on getting stronger, improve when you can improve, And the next level up again from that, man, when you get to play every day, man, everything becomes real smooth and easy. It's really ridiculous. You think it's hard, but it's tough and it's tiring, but everything just gets so buttery.
You're not thinking about it. You're just doing it. You're not thinking. You just know what you're doing. You don't have to think about doing this anymore. You can just do it and do it. Just rep after rep after rep. Yeah?
Oh, yeah. And you get so strong, like baseball strong. You get so baseball strong. It's ridiculous, Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, the style of his baseball in Australia, has that developed over the past few years? Because you're seeing guys like Liam Hendricks come through, obviously, for the White Sox for Australia. I'm sure there was somebody picked up in the draft this year.
First round.
What's the level like? Is it changed in the past 20 years? Has it become more prominent? Or has it always been that way?
So I can still remember when the Bandits were around before they disappeared. So when the ABL was around when I was a kid, because it disappeared for a fair while.
Right.
But I mean, I would say the baseball level that I've always played has always been, looking back at it now, at a pretty decent level. Pretty competitive level. I would say, I mean, like I said, I haven't been there for a while now, and I haven't been in the game till recently for like 8 years. So I've probably missed like a chunk of baseball recently in Australia. But like the overall level, so I will say my local league, my adult league, I would call it the level almost rookie ball.
Right.
Yeah.
So pro rookie ball, just about level wise, almost, because a lot of players are like my team, the Windsor Royals. Shout out to the Windsor Royals, eh? When I was playing, what was that?
Hey now.
When we were playing, I think most of our lineup was half to 3/4 of our lineup was either professionals, ex-professionals, or at a minimum state level players.
Right.
So everyone's at a level, and that's just, a lot of other teams had the same thing. Pro players, ex-pro players. So there was, when you got pro players and ex-pro players scattered throughout the entire league.
Yeah,
the whole league has to jump up a level, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because how can you not? Because everyone's playing to a level then. So, yeah, I think for as long as I can remember, I think the level, looking back on it in Australia, has been fantastic, honestly.
Good, yeah. When was it you left Australia? Was it the States you went to first? Or was it Mexico?
I never went to Mexico. I went to the States.
Oh, States, right.
New Mexico. So New Mexico, I went to New Mexico. Yeah. States. So I went to Arizona first, just for extended spring.
What was that, sorry?
Just for extended spring.
Right. Who was that with?
That was when I went over with the San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
And then New Mexico with Independent League, which was awesome. That was an awesome experience.
Was it, yeah? A lot of fun?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just chilled. Good people. Good bit of country, honestly. League was pretty decent. Again, mostly ex-pros trying to look at get another gig and stuff like that. So seeing some really good teams and stuff like that. Some hard.
Yeah, so you're not seeing guys who are giving up. You're seeing guys who are still like trying to get back up again. Yeah.
Yeah. And you might still have a couple of people who are just like, I can get another season in if I want, play some independent league. But more often than not, it's more maybe I just got released from like single A or something like that, and no one's picked me up. All right, I'll go play some independent league. So I'll go go find a team and get on and see if I can get a shot from someone
else. Yeah.
Is there any big names that you went against, or any that you can drop in there? Any ex-professionals or hard pitchers you went against?
Not in that league that I can think of, but I mean Liam Hendricks. I went through the system with Australia with Liam Hendricks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow,
I'm pretty sure me and him played on the same under 19 Australian side.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was in Taiwan. Akshin Yen, because he found it. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, me and him, because we played in Taiwan. So I went through the system in Australia with Liam Hendricks as well. So that's my big name drop. Or one of my coaches used to be David Nielsen, which is one of the biggest names in Australian baseball. MLB All-Star multiple times. Yeah. Nice.
It's pretty cool. No, I just didn't. I had visions of you try to hit off like a 50-year-old Roger Clemens, because he was cutting out the independent league. He was there for ages.
Yeah, I remember that. But no big names I faced. I saw some hard throwers. I faced 97 in that league.
Wow.
97 mile an hour is the hardest I faced. That was crazy. People throwing 101 regularly now, so I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's wild, isn't it?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Can't catch up with that, yeah.
Do you think, as a hitter, do you just adapt to that if you're seeing it all the time? That's because what we've seen in Scotland is, even when I started, like, there was probably in 2019 2 or 3 people that threw like Freddie, and like Freddie's still here, obviously still throwing. You've got a cannon for an arm, like. You've got quite a few people in the league now that throw absolute heat, man. And I feel like the hitters are getting better at doing it. It's making us all better, like adapting to that. Is that something you adapt to? You feel if you're seeing that all the time?
Yeah, you definitely do. I mean, like I said, when you're seeing that kind of quality all the time, you have to adapt, don't you? And hitters will. And you'll find that already. You'll see more and more hitters already in the MLB that are catching up to 100 mile an hour. Yeah, when it first start seeing it, no one's going to touch that because he's not used to it. But as soon as you start getting used to it, as soon as you start understanding pitches as well, you start understanding. All right, well, I know he likes to go to this pitch in this count. Yeah, so I know, like they'll have all those scouting reports on every single one of those pitches. Yeah. And especially when you play enough games, you'll play against the same pitches a lot, just like we do here.
Mm.
and you start getting the feel. You don't need a scout report because you got it in your head.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you see. I know how you throw this. I know how that looks when you throw this. You know, I can start eliminating this pitch because I know this pitch is not good for you, but you're going to come back at me with that pitch. So I'm going to look at that pitch because I know you can throw that for a strike. I know you can do what you need to do with that. So hitters will adapt really, really quickly. And yes, I mean, it won't be long before even our league, us throwing on a quote unquote heat, won't be anything, and it'll just be everyone will be able to turn it when they need to. So we need to actually start working on other things and hitting spots, better locations, better off speed and stuff like that. Just so you are always on the back foot and second guessing everything.
Yeah. Did you always play outfield, or you pitch when you were coming through?
I pitched a little bit when I was younger. So I made state representative as pitcher and a hitter. But by the time I was 17, basically, I got told that you have to pick one, basically. And I picked hitting because I was a better hitter.
Yeah. We couldn't tell, obviously, this season. Couldn't tell that at all. You're a better hitter.
How you finding pitching, Aven? Like, and if you've not done it since a while, how you adapted to that role? How you finding it?
I'm enjoying it. I've always tried to dabble if I could here and there, and like the idea of it, but I've never really been had a chance. The adult league, I had to dabble here and there, not regularly. Excuse me, but I do enjoy it. I know we were talking before. You know, I enjoy the one-on-one. Let's go at it kind of thing. Yeah. I like trying to throw the ball hard. You know, like I said, I've always liked throwing hard, and I hope to one day maybe try and actually work on my arm strength a bit more and get it back to close to where it was. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Not for me, Aven. No, I don't wish that upon you at all. I just said if you calm it down a bit, it'd be better for.
This is for no one else's benefit except for my own.
Fair enough. Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
Yeah, you'll see it on Sunday, Danny. Don't worry. Oh, you're on Sunday, yeah?
Nah.
I'm going.
Shoot.
Well, so that's a good point. Where are you on Sunday then, Aven? Let's pick up that. Where are you?
I am down south near the border of, or pretty much on the border of Wales, playing airsoft, milsim
Nice,
simulation.
man. And how long you done that? Well, for people that don't know, what is airsoft?
A better version of paintball, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's exactly how I describe it. How long you done that for?
Only 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not really in Australia. You can't really. It's not the same. It was almost illegal up until recently. So I never got a chance to play anything like that until over here.
How'd you get in there? Well, big passion of yours then, you were saying before you came on, man. You're enjoying it?
I'm hooked. Oh yeah, I love it. I was in the reserves back in Australia anyway, so
nice.
I've got that in me anyway. So I just get to kind of play big boy commandos like we all did when we were kids, but just do it as an adult now with shit that looks legit.
Rambo.
Basically.
Tayport's answer to Rambo right there. There he is. So how are you enjoying playing in Scotland then?
I'm enjoying playing baseball again.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the Scotland family kind of vibe.
Yeah.
As in, like, everyone kind of knows everyone in a good way.
Yeah.
I'd say overall, you know, I've got on well with people from every team that I know of anyway so far.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, I'm really enjoying getting back into baseball. I never thought I'd actually ever play baseball again, honestly. Yeah. Like, I never thought I'd ever play baseball again when I stopped. So I'm actually really enjoying coming back and playing. I'm enjoying the league. I get frustrated with the league sometimes and with our team and teams.
Yeah.
But I think that's also just me understanding that I probably still have a different level in my head, and I need to understand that Scotland baseball isn't quite there yet.
Yeah.
Which is, there's nothing wrong with that either. But I'd be lying if I hadn't thought about potentially trying to help with that as best I can in some ways with not just our team, but potentially even Scotland baseball. But that is just a fleeting thought so far. So dial it down. All right,
So
thoughts on that.
Poor convoy if you're listening to this. Yeah.
What's the big things that you think Scotland needs then even to get it to that level?
So this is something I've been thinking about a lot. It's something me and Shin Yen had a lot of conversations about actually when we were down in Slough. Room conversations with me and Shin Yen at baseball tournaments. It's just more baseball.
Yeah.
Without trying to be, I hope I don't sound like a dick. I'll preempt that, all right? But it's just trying to be real. I think we need to kind of start bringing a standard, a minimum is probably the wrong word, but I start bringing a standard to, especially the AAA. You know, like it's no longer beer league, for example, right? If you wanted a more quote unquote, again, that's not beer league, but if you wanted more of that kind of feel where I just rock up on Sunday, get to play. Maybe I train once a week and it's fine. That's your single A. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to enjoy. That's perfect. But if Scotland, or let's say our national, that team we took down to Slough, if we wanted to be more competitive, so we can take that, because I think it's a bit more specific anyway, but if we wanted to take that team again and wanted to be more specific and wanted to actually really take it to those teams, I think we have the talent around the league to take it to all those teams we played on that weekend, and beat them all. And I think we could all beat them quite well. But it's making sure that everyone is on the same wavelength of we want to get better. I'm not here just to play a game and rock up once a week. I'm here to try and improve myself. And that's not going to be everyone, but if we can get that as a general ethos in AAA, that'd be awesome. So that's going to create that then obviously standard of we're all trying to get better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's the little things, because realistically, and I think you're right, overall, I don't think we played bad at all down at Slough, but it's little fundamental things I think is what really killed us. And like as you said, when we were talking about a lot of those under 15s, watching them play yourself, Danny, and just how tight everything was in the field, what they did, their batting approaches. You know, how disciplined were those kids.
Me, you and PG were right behind that home plate, and we kept saying like how good the discipline is. There's so tight calls, and they know I'm taking it. That's not my pitch. I'm taking it.
That's the thing. Like that was like pitching. It's the first time I've ever experienced pitching to several people, and it's like a well-oiled machine. You genuinely can't say this is the top of the order because everybody has the same exact approach, so you don't know how to attack them. They all took the first pitch. None of them pulled the ball, and that's what was really surprising. Is none of them were out there trying to swing for the fences. They were all hitting the ball inside, trying to get it up the middle through the infield, and it's just very frustrating as a pitcher because you're just adding tax on your arm. Where any other team, you throw a fastball down the middle, they might swing too early and ground it out to roll over it to third. So I think you're right, Ave. I think one of the big things with Slough, as an example, is the model we have for Slough now at both levels is you're trying to balance participation with competition, and that doesn't always work, you know. And I think if you need to, if you wanted to be competitive, truly be competitive, then you need to say to the people around that team, I'm not guaranteeing you any game time, but I do need you there just in case. And that's the way a real competitive team at higher levels would operate, isn't it?
Yeah,
but it's 100%. Right now where we're at is we're trying to, well, we still haven't figured out in Scotland, is it about inclusivity or is it about elevating that level? And I think if we're about elevating that level, then we need to look at where else we can build inclusivity, which is supposed to be right now the single league inclusivity and participation. But I feel like the conflicting narratives there of participation versus competition, they just don't gel together.
No,
it stunts competition.
Yeah, I think honestly you are bang on with what you're saying, and I think that's where I guess Scotland baseball in general needs to come up with a kind of, I'm not an agreement, but just every team, every player, every coach kind of get on board and go, okay, so do we want AAA, for example, to be, well, this is the competition and this is what we're going to try and push forward, and single A is going to be this. And if that's the case, well, let's start, again, bringing the standard into this league so that we can kind of push that forward. But if everyone's not on board with that, well, yeah, there's no point in trying to do that because you're just going to piss people off.
Yeah.
So that's, I think you're right. I think it's where Scotland baseball's kind of in that in between at the moment. We're not quite sure if we're going all for this or all for this. But I think we need to decide before which way we push, which one we actually want to go for.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it won't take. I don't think it would take a lot to really increase the level. Because that's the thing as well. I mean, if you increase the AAA level, because everyone has to get better because we start enforcing a bit more of a standard, a bit more of a competition feel about it. Naturally, the single A will increase in level anyway.
Yeah.
And all those players will get better because that standard up here will increase.
You're practicing with those guys, exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean? So you'll find that the entire standard of the league would actually increase, and you still haven't dropped realistically that inclusivity, but we've just kind of changed our ethos with one part of it. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how I could see it happening anyway. But like we just all need to kind of get on board, even if it just starts with the National League next year, or national team, next year. Is that how would you go about it? We're going to take the best that we can take, the best of the best that we can take. Mm-hmm. If you can't make it, we'll go to the next person.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then we'll put on the best 9 we can for every game, and we'll have our extras, and we can get you in the game. We'll get you in the game.
Yeah.
And just like a pro ball team, especially at that level. I mean, again, I know it's whoever can get there is where we're at, but if we want to increase that level, I think that's where we need to start kind of drawing a line almost.
Yeah. I think
what's the benefit then? What's the benefit of elevating that would you think? Where does that get us?
Well, and that's one of the questions we need to kind of talk about when it comes to, do we want to get better? All right, why do we want to get better? Yeah. You know, do we want Scotland baseball to take it to England? You know, it could be as simple as that. You know, do we? Because I still haven't looked into this much, but I know there's like a national league down south, isn't there, in England?
Yeah.
You know, do we want to put a team in that national team? Is that something we can do? Would that be feasible? Would it not be feasible? You know what I mean? Do we want to just start developing players to a level that we can get players into GB teams really well? We get known for having developed really good players up here. You know, I don't know. Again, that's a question I think everyone needs to be in on.
Yeah.
But we need to ask the question to actually get an answer.
It's a personal thing as well. I think we should all want to get better, shouldn't we? Like, no matter how old you are, like we should all want to be getting better every time we're at practice in a game. You know, we should always push ourselves and want to do better than the last week, than last season, than 2 years ago.
I think that
this better.
Yeah, I think the short answer to this is it creates opportunity. And if you could, because you're right, it could create a pathway into the GB national team. It could create a pathway into the resources in England. Now, if you do that, what we might be able to generate, which we've not been able to generate right now, is funding for resources. And if you can get funding for resources, if you get funding for marketing, if you can get funding, it grows the game here. So I think you're right. In order, we ask that quite a lot. How do we grow the game here? I think success is one way to do it. You know, national success in what we're trying to do here, in building a culture where we're encouraging and building people to be good, so that we can attract that sort of resource. So I think loads of benefits there. I think you're right about that. And Scotland still, baseball's been about for ages, but it still very much feels like it's in its infancy because it's changed a lot over the past 5-10 years. You know, so.
Big time, yeah, I think so. Well, you look at the development, we didn't have that before.
Yeah.
There was the one league and that was it. And you had guys who go to practice every week and they might not get to play because you had to win that game.
Yeah.
Whereas now they can start at development league and they can play every week.
Yeah.
No one wants to come to practice every week and not get to play on a Sunday. You know,
yeah,
you train and play, don't you?
Yeah. And from what I've been told, that they're I'm still got a lot of hay nails. that there, I've heard from what I've heard, just by splitting and having that division straight away, that AAA league has actually gotten better already, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, again,
because we're
because
not all in that one league now. There's guys who are just coming to the game. They can go up the development side and progress, and you see players coming through now as well.
Yeah, well, I see. You know, you by doing that, just by that, incidentally, you created the standard, didn't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then that means that league up here has got to increase because, well, everyone is getting better because everyone we have that tighter, more condensed league, which is good. And then same with the single A. The single A will still get better because they're not getting beat up on, and they're not feeling like they're completely overwhelmed. They have their own league that they can all really progress at, get better, develop. And then once they feel like they're at a place where, I understand baseball now. I know how to play baseball now. I feel pretty confident with myself in the field. I feel pretty confident at the plate. Maybe I'll start seeing if I can get some game time in AAA.
Yeah.
I mean, they start working that way through.
Yeah. So we've brought you on here. This is a huge think tank. We've just turned this into a board meeting, man. Let's talk about, obviously you keep in shape, Aven. You go to the gym and stuff like that. How difficult is that, balancing your sort of workout schedule between baseball? Because I take it's quite intense, the sort of personal training you do.
So I don't train as much as I used to anymore. That's for sure. Like I'm still in the gym 2-3 days a week, but I don't do anything crazy like I used to. But I mean, back when I was even competing bodybuilding wise and still playing, I'd be in the gym 5-6 days a week and then still playing and doing stuff 4 days a week. Yeah. Your body gets adjusted to it. If anything, I'm adjusting to the baseball again.
Yeah.
Waking up after some of these pitching sessions. It's not like it's just tired. Like I'm not destroyed or anything like that. And how much my body has adapted again. Like I remember my first pitching, which was only like 2 or 3 innings this year. Yeah. Next day, I could barely move my arm. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know. And then a month ago, I pitched 150 pitches. Woke up next day going, I'm not too bad. But no. Gym's good. I think the gym and lifting weights had a bad stigma with baseball for a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone was very old school and you don't get out of the gym. Don't need just swing more, throw more. Yeah. And I think I do agree. Swinging more, throwing more does help, but you still to get strong. You know, there's nothing. If you get stronger, how's that going to affect you? Especially if you're still throwing and hitting all the time, so your mobility's still going to stay there. So as long as I keep that mobility up, because I'm still throwing, I'm still hitting, but I'm getting stronger. Well, of course, it's going to increase my performance. And I think
it's like performance at the same time. Like you need it for your core and just to recover and feel good.
Yeah. Your body just gets healthier, so you just perform better in life, whether it's baseball or just life in general. But yeah, I mean, you'll see MLB players now. How many yoked motherfuckers are there now?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at any pictures, man. Like the thing they all have in common is their legs are massive, man. Because baseball, everything's for the ground up. When you're swinging, when you're pitching, you're throwing, you're running. Like it's all down here. Into a lot of people think about it being up here, but everything's generated for the ground up. So I think it's one of the things, man. If you don't have that steady base, you don't have the muscles there, then you can't really do a lot in baseball, can you? You can't generate a lot if you don't have the muscle mass.
I mean, everything's generated through those hips, isn't it? Everything. Yeah. So I mean, if you can't generate that power through that lower end, I mean, you're gonna hamper yourself severely in everything.
Yeah.
I think everyone gets sidetracked going, it's just how especially with hitting, how much can I muscle it? Well, you just gotta burn yourself out. You're not gonna hit the ball as hard as you want to hit it. Bring those legs into it, man. You can destroy some shit.
Like, when we watch you swing it, everything's so smooth, and you come out to every pitch as well with the same aggression and speed. You know what I mean? You're not just deciding I'm going to swing out of my shoes on this one pitch. Everyone you go at, you're ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's trying to find that what I get told back in the day. It's that controlled aggression.
Yeah.
Controlled aggression. But you'll find with me and the hitting thing is that it's my approach. And that's something I've been trying to talk to with a few people about in our team and around in general. Actually, is just starting to try to have conversations about people's approaches. Back to kind of what you're talking about as well. Before, Danny, with those under 15s, left every pitch. I'm guessing they probably took till first strike at minimum before they started swinging. That's pretty normal, but and then everything's up the middle.
Yeah.
I think everyone gets the idea of, because pulling the ball's easy, isn't it? If I pull the ball, I can hit a big hit, or I can hit a bomb or something like that. And everyone gets a hit because they think that's where I'm strong. It's not where I'm strong. It's just where everyone is. It's easy to do. I think more often than not, most people are strong at the center, up the middle.
Yeah.
You get that full extension. That's where you really crush balls. I think that's where most people should be looking to hit and drive the ball. And then instinctively, if you throw me on the inside and I recognize that pitch, that's when I instinctively will pull the ball. But I shouldn't be looking to pull the ball. I should be looking to drive that ball. Line drives up the center every time. And then I will adjust instinctively to other things. It allows you to see pitches longer as well. I look at right center. You probably heard me talk to PG about this, Bash, recently. It's my approach is everything I'm trying to hit is right center. Because if I have that right center approach, I allow that ball to come a little bit deeper because I'm thinking more this way, which means I can have the time to see different pitches because I'm not trying to just pull the ball and get that head out as possible. Which makes me a harder hitter to get out.
That's a fundamental thing. If you watch, I remember watching YouTube videos for A-Rod, Freddie Freeman, loads of ones, and them hitting off the tee, and they'll say they go to the ballpark, and before they even do batting practice or they do anything, they'll go in and they'll hit off a tee and they'll try and line drive it over the second baseman's head. Everything's over that way. Well, if you're a right-handed hitter, over the second baseman, over the shortstop if you're a left-handed hitter. But it is that. It's about that contact point, that real power coming there, instead of out here where you're going to be a bit more off balance. But yeah, it's interesting when you look at the science behind baseball. I think when you're talking about that as well, the approach, it's a mental approach as well, isn't it? And that's so important. That's huge in baseball is just having that calmness. I always tell when people go in the box, the one thing they always do, especially if they've not played before, is they tense up because they're ready to mud the ball. You can't move. You can't move when you're tensed up here. You need to be relaxed, man, to get through that. So yeah, it's just those wee things that make baseball dead interesting, isn't it? Especially hitting as well.
Yeah, I think it's. I wish I had the headspace for baseball I have now when I was younger. I think I would have been an even better player, and probably would have gone that a little bit further than I did. Like no regrets on what I've achieved. I've achieved more than most people will ever do with baseball. So I'm blessed in that respect. But if I would have had the headspace I have now and the approach I have now, I think I would have been devastating almost when I was younger. I may not have been. I don't know. But I like to think I would have been. But because like you get the right headspace in baseball. I remember before I started playing in Australia, I was training less baseball because I was doing more bodybuilding, but my headspace was much better.
Right.
And my approach was much better and actually performed better with less training just because my head was in a better place. I think people underestimate how powerful the head can be, especially when you want to try and actually perform.
Oh, big time, yeah. You always last that bat or that error or whatever it was you made, and you need to shake off. And I'm the worst for it. I'm terrible. It stays with me for a while. I'll tell everybody else, don't worry about it. But for me personally, I'm like, nope, it's staying right here. We'll not go anywhere.
Which is tough because especially with baseball, when you think about it, baseball's a game of losing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, as a hitter, I fail 7 out of 10 times, and I'm an all-star in the MLB.
That's it, exactly.
I win only 3 out of 10, and I'm an all-star. Like, it's a game of losing.
Some of them Hall of Famer,
right?
Failing 7 out of 10 times, I
know. So that's what it is. So you've got to get used to it and comfortable with losing. That's what actually me and Shane Yen talked about. I think baseball teaches you good life lessons in that way. is
Yeah.
that you can lose, but
Does it? Well, yeah.
I've got to the next at bat, doesn't it? Because come at me.
Yeah.
We're kind of coming. We've hit the hour mark now. Bash, I was wondering if you want to do your final question. I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface because we haven't even touched upon your bodybuilding or anything like that. But we'll get you on again, Eve, like in the future, man.
It's too much. It's too much.
Too much, man. Aye.
So we always ask our guests, even you're getting wheeled out on death row. Your last meal, what are you going to have? We need an appetizer, a main, and a dessert.
So do I get a main and a dessert?
Yeah, of course. You get three
You're
courses.
getting electrocuted. You can get as many.
You can have whatever you want, buddy. Yeah.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Pizza would have to be up there as my main
Pizza?
meal. Pizza. Oh man, I'm a bit of a pizza whore, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shit.
Where's the best pizza place? Where you're going to tell me Domino's is better than Papa John's or something? Where's your favourite pizza
I
place?
don't go to either of those places over here.
Good man. Where do you thinking? Where's the best place for pizza?
I mean, around here locally in Perth,
Mm-hmm.
I think Brothers does a really good solid pizza.
Man, I went to Perth for the first time a few months ago, and I ended up in there, and it was beautiful. Yeah,
Oh, it's bang on, isn't it?
Yeah.
If they're watching and listening, then come and hit us up with some sponsorship, guys.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm only just around the corner. You know, I can be there.
Yeah, man.
Pizza
Dessert?
probably up there. Oh, I haven't had Cardo yet, Mikey. Sorry. Apparently, it's amazing. Apparently, Cardo is legit. I haven't had it though. Probably have to do chocolate for dessert, man. I am a chocolate whore. Like even more than a pizza whore, honestly. Like I'm one of those people like, oh, I'll buy a block. That's a serve.
Can't do it. I'd have one square and I'd be like, that's enough for me. Can't
Oh
do it.
no, I'll crush a block. And if I had 2 blocks, I'd probably crush 2 blocks.
No. Can't do it.
The chip shop in my street sells a chocolate pizza, and I've never ordered it, and I don't know what it is, and it kind of
Aven's on
scares
the way.
me a wee bit, man. Like, I don't know if it's an airdrie thing. It probably is. I don't know if it's a drug or it's a real thing because it's airdrie.
Could be an airdrie, could be.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Chocolate pizza, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, those two would be at the top of the list, I think, for sure.
I was not expecting that at all for you, Evan. I thought you'd have been like steak and chicken and protein, and probably just because of your build, man. Like
a meat pie from Australia.
that's
Aussies
like
like
a
meat
protein
pies.
shake for my starter.
Oh no,
Protein for the main.
oh no, man! I eat like a normal human. Don't worry.
Fair enough, man.
My days of eating that chicken and broccoli bullshit is gone.
Well, Ian, you've been a pleasure to have on. Really appreciate you coming on for us tonight, mate.
I really appreciate it. It's been awesome being on the show, actually.
Good. We'll get you on again.
I'll catch you on Sunday, Bash, but enjoy the airsoft, Aven, man.
Yep.
Appreciate you, and I'll see you soon anyway because I think I'll be back. I don't think I'll miss a game after this weekend. So.
I don't think so, but we'll be kicking about the off season, hopefully, and the post season, and if no, there's always the awards night at the end of the year. So,
Definitely.
Enjoy it, man.
Appreciate you.
Right, buddy. Take it easy.
All the best, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.